Alrighty, episode number 3, Broken Covenant. Continue. Now, in other words, it's a stem. This, I know. Now, I guess I know goes very deep, and if I took a pause, it's time for me to relax, but getting through this is quite important. The bottom line is that matrix, see, that scans this type of steel, which is zinc, deals with ATP. Now, when we deal with ATP, we're dealing with this type of wave of a seer, and oftentimes this type of wave of a seer comes this way, they would say, but oftentimes it has to have the zinc, and the zinc just deal with it as something that is a steel, something of this caliber here, something of this caliber here, as steel. And oftentimes, if I get a stem, then it hurts, meaning that the head feels like it's swollen. So oftentimes it's a mystery that deal with it, not a X or a lead. The lead can be part of it, while the completion of it seals the child based on broken covenant. And in other words, what was broken? Why am I a stem? But I know. So I know would say this disc, but dealing with it this way becomes lacking. So it has to, the bottom line comes matrix, see, and that deals with it. And I must say it's very harsh. Was the child expecting it to be harsh based on ATP? No. Why? Because there's times when I could sense these things, the seer, and sense how it works with the child, and can kind of maneuver this way. And oftentimes, as I go along, and I'm not probably taking care of it how man wants to, is it based on stealing? Probably not. It's based on how it scans the zinc. And the zinc, oftentimes, when it's ATP, has a to do so, and not something of a this, which kind of the body of the child could say that that type of ATP is here instead of being here, meaning that the sun sets this way and not this way. So this type of wave of the seer doesn't really instruct her. See, she continues life, but doesn't continues life as a stem. See, so the stem would say that she just hurts. Is it saying that I don't like it? Absolutely. Was she a bad person? Probably not. It just deals with the ATP, the waves of a seer. So if I'm talking and she's dealing, then it probably hits somebody this way, they suspect. And because of that part, that person could have died, but did not die. Do that person recuperates? No, because you shouldn't be holding that part of the ATP in your words. You have to be able to let it out, and that's called evolution. It goes from here to here, not from here to here. So that part owes extremely. So wave of a seer. Now, normally speaking, 1,000 annae of Romans. Now, does it consist the letters based on I know? No. So you just probably have to get this to deal with it, and not dealing with it, comme ci, comme ça. Now, seer meaning a person of supposed supernatural insights who sees visions of the future. In other words, this type of S only way, I should not be seeing visions and dreams. So could there be a cheat this way based on a foreign land? Absolutely. And oftentimes I would say, I put it as a place like Australia. Did I seek what is called a cream, and probably saw it on the net as something that is called Aussie conditioner, but wasn't able to get it. It comes from too far. I was in the United States. So the ATP is being cheated not. It says that it was, it dealt with it, and dealt with it probably this way. Absolutely not. Why? I know. So these type of manipulation of words cannot be, and you can be incarcerated for any manipulations. So you just have to say, well, I don't believe, and go. Now, if you're saying you don't believe and it belongs not to you, then that's a thief. So you have to be able to know supernatural insights. Who sees visions and futures? Not to tell you what to do, but when it comes to putting it on, I don't know, words or PowerPoint, it gives a covenant and not telling you to go and make thousands of dollars. In other words, you have to pay big money to hear her, and that's all. Now, when it comes to archaic, a person who sees something specified, a seer of the future, it often likes to get it always pink when it's outside of Rome, Italy, pink in this side of the child's head and stays there. And that's kind of what is the archaic. You could call it kind of a encyclopedia. Okay, and that's what it deals with when it's in this type of ATP format of this here. Now, when it's this way, it probably speaks too much, but when it's this way also, it lodges at this type of left side and puts it there based on its pink. And when it's there, it does provoke the child, especially when her encyclopedia was taken out of it to get her archaic, and it never got there. So pretentiousness does cause. She can just say that it's just speaking. Yay. Flop of Guyana, Beauchamp, found in this type of tar, ex-concy. So these type of things would say, just cross it out. Why it needs a lot of studies, not it just says, I know, and I don't want to deal with it. Why I wrote the book, sometimes you don't want to deal with it, what is in the book. So I know, and that's it. So let's move on. Now, when I'm in Guyana, all they had to do is establish where Guyana has flopped, and just say in something of a refrigerator, and oftentimes find it's outside of the grandmother, so it's probably thrown out now. And you could say, when I get deeper in a RR, and oftentimes the RR, do notice it a little later in life. So it would say that's all they needed to do, and took the girl to the bottomless pit and had nothing to offer the child. So it's very dramatic. This is of back, and oftentimes we do not know where the back is. So you would say zinc of sour, and this type of thing died. Whoever was supposed to deliver this, like somebody who's supposed to go to Paris and wait, that person would have nothing to do with it. Why? Because a nation of Australia is too puissant to have these things holding back somebody that is powerful. So that has to be examined. Now, I will move along very quickly. Now, if it is of what I speak about is channeled through time, in other words, it's matrix quantum. When it travels here, my ankle in a ball, it's then blended rouge, meaning it stops the sun, which is this type of ATP, and S, which is this type of from the flow, which is this type of this here, which a note. Comes in a note, this one. So what is it there is just her matrix quantum, a proctor is. So she gets it this way, her kind of matrix, before it actually gets this way. So it often takes a parkour, and the parkour I haven't started yet. So now, once I get to this type of final chapter 2, #1, I have a child, basically